Hello and welcome to another video of mine. Before I get started, I quickly need to inform you that I've only played a little over 2+ hours of Hogwarts Legacy, and in this short period, I was totally glued to my PC screen without any snacks or tea break or toilet breaks to enjoy this gloriously detailed world of Hogwarts created by the developers. This, however, is in no way a review video or a technical analysis video, since, hey, it's going to be unfair to come up with a review video after only playing 2+ hours of any game. This is also not a scene-by-scene reaction video, but my personal thoughts or opinions on my 2+ hours time spent with this particular game. And I also want to mention that apart from my personal opinion, I've also gathered some information about the game online, and that's exactly what I'm going to share in this video. Just thought I'd clear that bit before we get started with our video today. With that said, let's get started. Now, if you're a Harry Potter fan, then you should experience the magic of Hogwarts Legacy. It is an action-adventure game set in the world of Harry Potter, where you can explore the world of magic and discover its secrets. In this video, you will learn about the setting and story of Hogwarts Legacy, the graphics, its performance on PC, because I'm playing this on my PC, the gameplay, the mechanics, the characters, the narrative, and probably the positive and negative aspects of the game from whatever I could gather in the 2+ hours that I spent with this game. Now, let me first introduce you to this game, give you some information about this game from what I could gather online. Now, this is the latest installment in the Harry Potter franchise, and it is set in the late 1800s, and it is, after all, an action-adventure third-person game developed by Avalanche Software, published by Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, and it has been released on the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Series X and S. So this is actually a cross-gen title when it comes to the consoles. And of course, it also got its PC Windows release, and that was the device that I was playing this on, the PC. It is the first game in the series to be set in the era of the original books, and it follows the story of a young original character as you explore the magical world of Hogwarts. And this game offers players a chance to explore the immense magical world and experience the, you could say, the mysteries, the secrets of Hogwarts. You will learn magical spells, you will battle creatures, and you will discover hidden locations. You will also have the opportunity to customize your character and choose their path of magic. Now, whether you choose to become a powerful wizard or a mischievous prankster, the choice is basically yours. So let's get started with the settings and story of Hogwarts Legacy, I would say. Now, this features an original story, and it's got a cast of new characters, as well as, you could say, some names that would be dropped here and there from the Harry Potter universe. And you will also get to explore iconic locations from the Harry Potter films, such as the Forbidden Forest or Hogsmeade. Now, since this is a role-playing game at that, set in the 1800s, this basically centers around you building your character, attending classes, learning magical spells, potions, and exploring this open world of Hogwarts and kind of evolving or growing your character as you go along the way. Now, as far as the story goes, the story focuses on an original custom character, a student of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and you can customize your character from the get-go, from gender to physical attributes, to even selecting the house that you're going to be playing under. Like the different houses that you can choose from. I'm sure if you're familiar with the Harry Potter series, you've got the four houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravensclaw, and Slytherin. So as you progress in the game, you can unlock new spells, you can probably understand potions better, as well as magical objects, or you will even encounter creatures as you progress in the game. So you get to explore this expansive, massive world of Hogwarts, And I'm glad to say that it is quite expansive. And from the castle and grounds to the Forbidden Forest to Hogsmeade, I mean, it all comes together beautifully. You will enjoy this world that the developers have created for sure. Now, along the way, you will encounter many monsters, many creatures, as well as other students from different houses as well. And your interactions with them, well, it kind of makes the game uh, all the more interesting, you could say. Now, you will also have story choices, basically how you interact with others and how you react with the dialogue options will kind of reflect upon the character that you're building, in the sense the nature of the character. So are you like a prick, or are you this humble, this kind character? So it all depends on how you interact with others and how you react with the dialogue options that happen laid out in front of you. And that will ultimately shape your character's fate as well. Now, the choices that you make will affect your relationship with other characters in the game. And there might be, although, it's too early and I've not personally kind of experienced this, but I did go through these dialogue options, and I can say that how these dialogues have been laid out, I think that it might have an impact on outcomes as well. I'm not sure though, because like I said at the start of the video, I've only played 2+ hours of this game. But it would be interesting to find out if it does have an impact. I mean, that's on a personal level. You can, of course, read about this, but I've gathered this information from various online sources, and I'm putting it out in this video along with my own personal opinion from my 2+ hours of gameplay. Now, you get to play around the expansive world that they've created with this game. And I can say confidently that the first 2+hours were, man, I mean, it was brilliant. They have made this beautiful, you could say, world that will immediately draw you in. And for those who are a fan of the Harry Potter franchise, I would probably say that you'll feel right at home, because I'll give you one example. Now, while I was playing this game, my kid was sitting right beside me, and he was literally pointing out that, this is from this is from that. You have these 4 houses, you have these school spells, and there is that sense of familiarity, I believe, that a lot of youngsters will immediately get drawn into and be able to identify with this Harry Potter universe. So that's a great thing, I must say. I mean, if it gets the attention of young kids, who are in their teenage years, then I think, you've got a winner, because ultimately that's what the kids would want, right? I mean, they would want their parents to buy them this game title. And this is a title that can be picked up by kids, because in the day and age where games are getting more and more violent, there's a lot of gore, there's a lot of bad language in games as well. I mean, it comes as a breath of fresh air as well, where I can sit down with my 9-year-old and play this game in front of him. That's really something. So I kind of, I like that, because at the end of the day, games were originally meant for kids. I mean, not necessarily 9-year-olds, but maybe at least teenagers, I mean, 11, 12, starting off with, and then heading into teenage years, etc. So, I mean, this does feel like a game that you can enjoy with your entire family. I mean, even if they are sitting right next to you. So that's really a big positive. Now, as far as the gaming and performance of this game goes, this is no doubt a visually stunning game, out and out. Beautiful, gorgeous visuals that you will see on screen, and every single frame that you will come across, mind-blowing. The graphics, they are highly detailed. The environments are vibrant. They're alive. The game features realistic lighting. There's dynamic weather effects. There are detailed particle effects as you cast those spells, etc. It even has very good soundtrack, great music, and it basically captures the Harry Potter world, you could say. And what this does is everything comes together beautifully, and it gives you this immersive and cinematic feel that you would appreciate. Now, the game runs at a steady frame rate, because while I was playing this on my PC, I was very happy with the performance. But even if you have a lower end hardware like the GTX 960 as an example, which is at the end of the day an entry level GPU, which can handle 1080p low settings, So even on a machine like that, I think you'll get a stable performance. But for better performance, obviously, you will need a bare minimum of GTX 1080 Ti or something like the AMD Radeon RX 5700 XT. Now, the developers, obviously, they've listed out the complete PC specs that you need for playing with high settings or ultra settings enabled. And the recommendations even include something like the RTX 2080 Ti and Radeon RX 6800 XT. Now, you can check all this information out on their official webpage. But as far as the kind of machine that I was playing this on, now I was playing this on my AMD or Asus ROG Strix G15 Advantage Edition from 2021. And this comes with the AMD Ryzen 9 5900HX and the AMD Radeon RX 6800M, which has 12 GB of GDDR6 video memory along with just 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now, during my playtime, I experienced some minor technical issues such as occasional pop-ins, and I'm sure others have also mentioned all these things. Like I see a lot of community forums talking about pop-ins. So yes, I did experience that myself, where objects or textures would pop in, as well as these mini load times when you're passing through these doors. Some doors happen to have longer load times than the others. This is a very minor, you could say, technical glitch, and obviously updates can fix this. And I can say that these minor issues, they do not detract from the overall experience. So that's as far as the graphics or the performance goes. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to the graphics or the performance is the frame rates that I was personally getting. Now, please note that whenever I record these videos, I take an extract from the computer directly, meaning I do a screen recording. I don't have a capture device. So I'm not capturing this through an external device. I'm capturing this directly through my screen recording. Now, while you're screen recording on your PC, you will experience some kind of a slowdown in terms of the frame rate. So your performance will get impacted. However, having said that, even after doing a screen recording in 4K settings that I was playing this on with, you could say medium to high, because I'd get the texture level high on my PC, on my laptop, that is. Now, after all that, I was getting a stable 45 to 47 FPS for most parts. The frame rates would dip in certain scenes, especially cutscenes, or where you have these transitions between cutscenes and gameplay. So I would see frame rates drop to maybe the 30s, like 32 or 35. But that's also because I was recording at the same time. Now, without the recording, this gave me a solid 45 plus FPS. So I was pretty happy with the way the developers have optimized this game specifically for the PC. Now, I don't know about the consoles because I haven't played this on my PlayStation 5 or on the Xbox Series S, but on the PC, the performance is really good. Now, as far as the gameplay and mechanics of this game goes, you start off the game with a customizable character, like we discussed a few minutes back, and you will be able to kind of customize the character's appearance, but that is pretty much it. Because apart from that, I don't think there's any other customization options that you have. I mean, as you progress, you will come across gear like hats and things that you can wear. So, though, yeah, I mean, those options are there. So they mainly, you could say, physical improvements, the way you look, that is what you can improve and that is what you can customize. And as you progress in the game, you will choose the character's alignment as well. I mean, are you this kind, humble guy, or you are leaning more towards the naughtier side? I mean, like a darker side. So that is also an interesting take. And from the gameplay aspects, you can use a variety of spells, such as offensive spells, defensive spells, healing spells, and there are different kinds or categories of spells available. For instance, the light magic, Lumos, and the repair magic, Reparo. Then there's the category that allows us to move or pull things, like pull, push, or slam the ground. And these spells are often essential for puzzles, but they can also be very useful in combat. For example, when we want to knock an opponent down off his feet, you can use one of these spell categories. And there are also, you could say, these so-called chain spells like Levioso. I mean, this is not the same, you could say, Wingardium Levioso levitation charm, but what it does is it just lifts things up. That's basically it. And there is a spell for kind of slowing down time, because when you use it, things appear to be in slow motion. So I mean, there is a lot of variety, and the options that you have, they have been well thought of. And that's what you appreciate, when you play this game and you pick this game up, you will be in awe of the sheer variety of spells that are there, and you can mix and match between them. And that's what makes the gameplay pretty interesting. Now, you can also use magical artifacts to boost your character's abilities, and there are upgrades options as well. You can improve your skills, etc., as you progress in the game. Now, apart from that, apart from the standard traversal system where you are either walking, running, or sprinting, you even have the ability to fly on a broom. Yep, and it's been implemented pretty well, I would say, in a great way, in fact. So, flying over Hogwarts and taking the views from high up in the sky, I mean, it's an amazing, you could say, option. And this is what I'm saying from the cutscenes that I've seen or the YouTube videos that I've seen. I've not personally experienced this myself, but from whatever I could see online, from whatever I could gather from these YouTube videos, I mean, the vistas, the landscapes, they look fantastic. I mean, they're pretty expansive, they're pretty scenic, and the developers have really put in the time and the effort. And that's what you really appreciate at the end of the day, when you see the developers taking in this extra effort to give you that optimum immersive experience. And that's what you appreciate. And in the first 2+ hours, you get that polished feeling from this game, from the voice acting to the gameplay mechanics, to the way your character moves, to the character animations, the facial animations, the motion capture. All of this come together beautifully, and they give you a very immersive experience. And that's what you appreciate. This game reeks of, you could say, great quality visuals and great options when it comes to gameplay and the mechanics as well. Now, you will, of course, since I was talking about flying over with that broom, there are limitations to it, though, from what I've read and from what I've heard, where certain areas, certain missions will not allow you to fly over them. I mean, there are like these no-fly zones, so to speak. So at the end of the day, Hogwarts Legacy, it gives you this immersive experience with a variety of gameplay mechanics, and you will explore the world of Hogwarts, battle creatures with magical spells, customize your character's path of magic, and apart from that, you even have various puzzles and different types of challenges in the form of side mission. Now, as far as the narrative or the world building and characters of this particular game goes, the main missions, they have a lot of variety, and the world around you changes organically as you progress through the game. And the same can be said for side missions as well, as there are many surprising missions that can also lead us to like hidden objects, hidden artifacts, hidden places that you would have not seen otherwise. And even though these side missions are not necessarily going to be picked up by 100% of the gamers, what is appreciated here is that these side missions have the level of detail is immaculate. When you take one look around, when you pan the camera in a room in the castle, your mind's gonna go like poof. I mean, the amount of detail in every nook and corner. I mean, the meticulous designing of each of these levels is really praiseworthy. I mean, that's how good this game is. So just want to mention again that and remind you that this, after all, is like this original story. So you play this main character and you explore this magical world of Hogwarts. And I just want to say that the story is well written. There are a lot of cutscenes that you're going to come across. I mean, loads and loads of them. Even in the 2+ hours that I played this, I was bombarded with these cutscenes. However, I kind of enjoyed these cutscenes. Now, sometimes these cutscenes can take away from the gameplay experience, but I will say that in terms of Hogwarts Legacy, it only adds to the overall story and the main missions, and it elevates the overall immersiveness of the game. So I appreciated the way these cutscenes were done, these dialogue options, they are in no way monotonous. They're pretty organic, pretty well done, and there's a lot of variety even in the way they've chosen the options. So well done. Now, as far as the overall world goes, it's very coherent, I would say, and especially as fans, you will quickly feel at home. Now, many areas in the castle and this overall world, it will remind you of the movies. Like I said, my 9-year-old, he's seen all the Harry Potter movies, and he was like, look, I mean, this is exactly how it happened in the movies. I mean, this scene, this part looks exactly like the movie. So uh, that's the kind of experience that my 9-year-old was getting. Now, I'm no Harry Potter fan, you could say, and I've not even seen all the movies. I mean, I've seen a lot of them, but not every single one of them. I've not read any of the books, but my kid, he's a big fan. And for him to jump out of his seat and say things like, hey, I mean, this is exactly like, the movie, and this is exactly how I would have imagined it. I mean, it gives me confidence to say that they are loyal to the cinematic or the literary imagination and depiction of this Harry Potter world. So that is, again, appreciated. Now, the character designs, the animations, they're all top notch. I've already mentioned this. Even the voice acting, it's stellar. There's excellent sound design in the game, and the soundtrack also kind of backs the visuals. It works in harmony and gives you this beautiful cinematic experience while you're playing this game. Now, I'll quickly go some of the positive aspects of the game as well. I know I've already spoken about a lot of them, but I do want to point out that this game is an out-and-out great fan service to the Harry Potter franchise overall. Now, the graphics are absolutely stunning from the word go. They're absolutely stunning. And even the performance on the PC, it was solid. I've already spoken about the PC performance on my Asus ROG Strix G15. In terms of the gameplay, a lot of variety. In terms of this main missions, a lot of variety. Side missions, a lot of variety. Dialogue options, a lot of variety. So it is a game which offers you a lot of variety. And I can easily see myself playing this game for at least a bare minimum of 50 to 60 hours. And that, in my personal opinion, is definitely your money's worth. So that is a big positive of this game, being your money's worth. Now, all is not rosy, however, because there are some negative aspects in the game as well. There's some minor, you could say, downsides. Minor technical issues are the downsides, like some occasional pop-ins that I've spoken about of objects, of textures, as well as those mini load times when you walk across those doors. And the biggest problem, however, in my personal opinion, is the use of repeated assets. Sometimes you'll find yourself talking to your doppelganger. I mean, the only thing that's changed is the color of the skin and probably more freckles on the other person's face, but he is a pure replica of you. So it's only because they've used the same assets over and over again, whether it's Hogsmeade or whether it's the castle, you will come across characters who look like you, characters who look a lot like the ones that you have already encountered in the game. Even enemy types, there's not a lot of variety in terms of the enemy types. So in terms of the assets that have been used, especially character assets, I wouldn't say landscape assets, because there's a lot of variety in the visual vistas that you see, but the character assets, it's been repeated a lot of times, and that kind of takes away from this immersiveness that I have been talking about so far in this video. Now, apart from that, only some minor PC issues like frame drops in those heavy cutscenes or scenes which are really busy. Like there are too many things happening on the screen, a lot of particle effects, a lot of characters on screen, a lot of action happening on screen. So in areas like that, you will have performance dips on your PC. I'm not sure about the consoles because I'm playing this on my PC, and even those dips, they're not horrible because I played Dead Space on my PC on the same machine, and the frame drops on Dead Space were down to like 17 FPS or 12 FPS in some scenes. So it's not as bad as that. As a PC game, this has been optimized really well. I would just like to conclude by saying that this is a great game for Harry Potter fans, and everything reeks of detail. The meticulous designs, they really shine through, whether it's the characters, whether it's the levels, apart from the repetitiveness of the character assets. For most parts, this game is really solid. It's mind-blowing. And this game also provides excellent value for money. I've already spoken about the 50 to 60 hours that I can easily see myself. Now, apart from that, after completing this game the first time around, I can just choose another character. I can choose different dialogue options and have like this second run through in this game. So you can start a new game with a different character personality, choosing a different house, and this will offer new experiences along the way, I would say. The story won't change much because the story is going to remain the same, but uh, the good part is that you can skip the dialogues the second time around. So you'll be going across the entire story a lot quicker because you have the option of skipping dialogues, etc. But what you can do is you can choose new dialogue options the second time around, and you can even mix and match some of these spells that you didn't use the first time around. So it does offer decent replay value from that perspective. And apart from those minor technical issues or performance issues on your PC, I would say this is a great game and it's definitely worth it for Harry Potter fans. Although, if you take a look at the portfolio of the developers, they did not have a game of this size or scale, of this magnitude in their portfolio, but their love for the Harry Potter books or movies or the franchisee, well, that ultimately shines through in small and big ways. And this is what will ultimately provide us gamers with one of the best Harry Potter game experiences. And I would say you need to experience the magic of Hogwarts Legacy, and you need to take part in this unforgettable magical adventure, I would say. So, with that said, I come to the end of this video. Now, if you like the content of this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that like and subscribe button and also that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. I do put out videos like this every single week on Wednesdays, so you can expect gameplay videos, comparison videos, review videos even, although this is not one, but you can expect, certain review videos on my channel as well. Now, with that said, it's a wrap for this one. Your like, your subscribe is appreciated in advance. And I'll see you lovely folks in my next video. Until that time, I would say take care, stay safe, happy gaming, and may God bless you all.